Dear Wendy, today is Monday, March 12th, 2018. I thought today that I would finish the last part of our 20 questions video series, so the last 10 questions, and I'm excited to get to know more about you. So question number 11, where did you go to college? So I went to our community college my freshman year. It's called South Plains. I did a lot of my basics there. And I finished college at Texas Tech University here in Lubbock. Go Red Raiders. And I actually went to Texas Tech through my internship, through my dietetic internship, and for my master's degree as well. So I'm a big Texas Tech fan. Question 12, what do you do now for a living? I am a registered dietitian, and I've been registered and licensed for a little over a year now. I had my first job as a dietitian at one of our hospitals here in Lubbock. I loved it and was given the opportunity to take a job with a home health and DME company as their registered dietitian, and I actually get to educate other people on feeding tubes. So it's pretty much the dream job. Question number 13, how did you choose your career path? This is a really good question. I was in an advanced biology class my senior year of high school, and we really dived deep into learning more about all of the different systems of the body. And I really became interested with the digestive system. And I had a passion for food, of course, as most of us CFers do. Had a passion for food, had a passion for nutrition as well, because I had a dietitian at my care center, and really just wanted to learn more about the digestive system. And I wondered, how can I bring all of these things together? And after doing some research, I determined that being a registered dietitian was what was for me. My goal was to work with other cystic fibrosis patients and work at a care center. But I didn't realize at that time when I made that decision and had that dream that, of course, I couldn't do that because of infection control. But it's really cool because the Lord has really brought that dream back around, because I can still educate and talk to caregivers and even some patients with cystic fibrosis over the phone who have feeding tubes. So I still get to kind of do it in a way, which is cool. Question number 14, what do you love most about your job? I kind of talked about this already, but because I have a feeding tube and have that experience, I love being able to talk to other people with feeding tubes and talk to parents of small children who have feeding tubes and just let them know that it's a normal thing, it's nothing to be afraid of, and that they can still live a normal life with their feeding tube. So I love just being able to be a resource for patients and honestly just be their friend. It's been a really cool experience. Question 15. What's the hardest thing for you about living with cystic fibrosis? The hardest thing for me, there are a couple of things. The first thing is just that it's such an isolated disease, honestly. Because of infection control, us CFers can't hang out in person, which is one reason why Wendy and I wanted to do this. This is one reason why you and I wanted to do this, is just to get to know each other better, because we can't in person. So I think it's just really hard not being able to hang out and have sleepovers with people who know exactly what you're going through. You know what I mean? The other thing that's hard about it is knowing that CF is progressive. Not to bring a hard light onto this, but just knowing that you can do everything right and it still progresses, it still worsens, and it's not your fault. It's hard knowing that, so I'm ready for a cure. I know you are too. Number 16, what gets you through each day while living with this life-threatening disease? Honestly, what gets me through is just knowing that I have a bigger purpose than this life. The Lord has really instilled that in me. A couple of years ago, I was really struggling with depression and wasn't really sure why God chose me to have this disease. But He worked on my heart through other people in my life and showed me that I have a purpose. And no matter what I'm going through, my purpose is to always glorify Him. And so I really strive to do that. And honestly, that's what gets me through, is knowing that no matter what happens on this earth, when I die, I'm going to heaven to be with Jesus, and that's all I can ask for. Question number 17. When did you finally learn how important it was for you to keep up with your daily treatments? I was hospitalized for the second time the summer before my sophomore year of college, and that was just a really hard hospitalization for me. I was on IV antibiotics for a month, and I had only been hospitalized one time before that, in like 15 years. Yeah, 15 years. And so I really wasn't used to CF affecting me very much. And so I was really struggling both physically and emotionally and even spiritually. And when I finally began to take on the new perspective of seeing cystic fibrosis more as a blessing in disguise rather than a curse, I began to realize that if I wanted to live a normal life, that I had to do the treatments and I had to take the pills in order to really live a normal life. And it just kind of became a habit. I really started doing everything consistently, and I'm so thankful that I learned it then. I wish I would have learned it a long time ago, but it took me, 20 years, but that's okay. Question number 18, what's the most positive thing about living with CF? Probably being able to eat whatever. For me, at least, I can eat whatever and I don't really gain a whole lot of weight. But as a registered dietitian, I highly, highly recommend eating a variety of foods, including fruits, vegetables, whole grains, protein, and dairy. So make sure you're getting all of those foods in. It's important for your health. Okay, question number 19, what's the most important thing you have learned while living with CF? The most important thing I've learned is that it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay that it takes you time to remember to take your enzymes. I'm still learning that. It's okay to mess up every once in a while, just as long as you know that you've messed up and you know you need to get back on track and that you do your best to get back on track. Yeah, it's okay to not be perfect, because no one is. And last but not least, question 20. What makes you most excited about doing the Dear Sister videos? Wendy, I am just so excited to get to know you more through this whole process. I'm really, really excited to share awareness, to spread awareness about cystic fibrosis and what it's actually like to live with this disease, to share how it affects us so differently. I'm just really excited about it. So that's all for today, but I can't wait to hear from you soon. See you, sister.